Protesters in Moscow tonight calling for the resignation of Vladimir Putin, a rare show of public anger towards the president in the wake of that horrific mall fire in Siberia. In fact, today, people right across Russia said they're fed up with the kind of bribes and corruption that allowed the mall's owners to skip safety inspections. And as Chris Brown tells us, the calls for change were loudest in the city where the fire took place.
For 10 long hours in Kemerovo today, thousands poured their grief and rage over the loss of so many young lives into a protest in the city's main square. The government is to blame. It created the situation, said the man with the microphone, 31-year-old Igor Vostrikov, whose pain must be unbearable. While he was out of town, his 3 young children, aged 7, 5, and 2, his wife and his sister, went to the movies together and were trapped when the fire started. All perished. Vostrikov blamed corrupt officials at all levels. Every official dreams to steal like Putin, appoint a scapegoat, and close the topic. Such a personal attack on Russia's president is extremely unusual. Often it's lower-level officials who end up being blamed for calamities. Today, Putin was in Kemerovo visiting victims in the hospital. State TV showed plenty of those moments and notably ignored the thousands outside calling for heads to roll, even his. The investigation has already pointed to critical failures, non-functioning alarms, safety inspections that were long out of date, and in 2 cinemas, doors that had been locked to keep people out who didn't have tickets. It was so hot, everything melted, said the firefighter, confirming those trapped didn't have a chance. The shopping mall fire has profoundly affected so many Russians. We're in downtown Moscow, and this building is the official consulate, if you will, for the city of Kemerovo in Moscow. And for the last 2 days, we've seen people come, now leaving a huge memorial of flowers and stuffed animals and just coming together to share their sadness. 16-year-old Liza Cheboyana was in tears.
Corruption, it is in Russian, and it's normal to our government. Yeah, I think it's ужасно. Terrible, yeah.
Adding to the anger are persistent claims by relatives that people are still unaccounted for and authorities are trying to cover up the true extent of the tragedy. The official death toll of 64 dead, including 41 children, could really be much worse. Chris Brown, CBC News, Moscow.
So far, 5 people have been arrested in connection with the fire, including a director of the company that owns the mall. Wednesday will be a national day of mourning for the victims.